Okay. One Friday afternoon, I was at home on my computer looking to see if any of my favorite bands had come out with a new album. And I found out that one of the heavy metal bands that I listened to had come out with a new album. The band was called Dimmu Borgir, Norwegian for Dark City. The first song from the album I listened to was called Dimmu Borgir, and the song was great, but one of the lyrics caught my attention. Talent is worthless unless exercised, the lead singer Shagrat sang into the microphone. As I thought of this lyric, I realized that I had lived my life from 6th grade on, driven by that motto, but not knowing it. I believe that talent is worthless unless exercised, because without my wrestling talent, I would not have these medals. It all started with my first wrestling match. Imagine a scrawny, 52-pound blind kid being led on a wrestling mat for his first match. Now, imagine a 107-pound 8th grader with experience as his opponent. Who do you think will win? The blind kid with practically no muscle mass, or the 8th grader who is twice his size? I personally would go for the 8th grader, but since I wasn't on the sidelines, I didn't have the luxury to choose, because I was a little blind kid with no experience, and I was more terrified of that big kid picking me up and throwing me halfway across the gym than I would be if I were in a World War I trench in the middle of a fierce artillery bombardment. We shook hands, and the match started. Trust me, my fear was misplaced. On the opening whistle, he stood there like he had looked directly at Medusa's head as I made the first move and scored the first takedown. He finally realized that he was on his back, so he used his brute strength to roll over onto his stomach as I climbed on top of him. He got to all fours, known in wrestling as basing up, and I chopped his arms out from in front of him and drove forward, putting him on his belly. He tried to squirm up, but one half Nelson later, and he was on his back, but not quite in the position for me to pin him, even though I got 3 points for holding his shoulder at less than a 90-degree angle from the mat in what is called a near fall. I held him like that for the rest of the first 1-minute period. The second period started, and I chose to start the period in the top position. I took my position, and the referee blew the whistle. I broke him down to his belly and put in that half Nelson again. But this time, I didn't hold him at near fall. I ran the move and managed to sink it in tight, and I pinned him with it. That match showed me that I had wrestling talent, and without it, I wouldn't be wearing these medals, and without my first match, my wrestling talent would have been worthless, because without my first match, I wouldn't have been able to exercise it. I believe that Shagrat was right when he sang in his song, "Talent is worthless unless exercised."